The NFL season is fast approaching as we are 20 days away from the season opener between the Eagles and the Cowboys, and all eyes continue to be on Micah Parsons as negotiations for a contract extension remain at a standstill. Team owner Jerry Jones said he would not trade Parsons after the edge rusher made his trade request public on August 1st. Here's what our Marcus Spears had to say about that situation yesterday.
The new age and the new athlete and the strength of his agent, and this conversation tells me that he may very well sit out for this season. It feels like it's become a contest between who has the mettle and the resolve to see this out the way that they foresee it being played out. And eventually, usually in the league, this happens and you get paid and everything moves on. This just feels a little bit different to me, guys.
It does feel very stuck, right? Like something has to change. What would have to change to move this situation forward?
Well, I think Dallas would really have to feel like he's going to miss a lot of games. And just again, for the audience, he's going to have to be there for at least 6 games to get credit towards free agency. But if we go back to Jalen Ramsey in Jacksonville, where he basically held in, manufactured an injury, forced a trade to the Rams, and the rest is history. So to me, if we were running the Cowboys, guys, he's a great young player. We would never consider trading him unless we really felt like he was going to miss most of the season and withhold his services. Short of that, Graz, I think you just have to be patient and wait it out.
Well, sure, but there is a game, right, in 20 days, and it's against the Eagles. It's a game they have to win. He's their best player. Even if he signed, next week, is that enough time for him to get ready to play in the opener?
Yeah, my guess is it's probably enough time for Micah Parsons to be really effective. But I think what would happen is we start to get concerned about injury risk, right? And I think the closer we get to the season, the more likely it is that a smart team will be like, all right, well, we'll push it back even if he does sign. So I don't quite understand how we've gotten to this situation, and none of us, all the usual reasons for us getting here don't seem to add up. This is not the type of player or the type of situation that we end up like this. So I think there's more going on that we don't understand.
Yeah, and to that point, we had that with Darrell Reeves. We had a holdout, we got him signed, and then he went out and got hurt against the Patriots, and it was so deflating. So it's really something they have to be thinking about.
That does happen. These situations, even when they get resolved, there's still some leftover bad blood, and what we're talking about in terms of the injury risk. What do the next couple weeks look like here?
Yeah, listen, I think there's got to be some type of deadline here where if you don't sign the player, that he's not available for week 1. Again, these guys have touched upon it. There's nothing like there's only one way to get into football shape. And that's play football. If you're not out there practicing with the pads on, even if you sign a contract, you run the risk of getting injured. And so there has to be some type of hard deadline between the Cowboys and Micah Parsons. Say, look, if we don't get this thing resolved by this time, you're not going to be available for week 1 against the Philadelphia Eagles.
What's the date where, if we don't get this resolved by this time, we actually change our minds, start thinking about trading you? When does that happen?
Oh, once you start missing games, now you're in a different territory because, you're withholding your services. You're not available for the team. At that point, now this whole thing is escalated to the point where all options have to be on the table for the Dallas Cowboys.
So, all right. So they have said repeatedly that's not going to happen. He's under contract. They can franchise him next year, franchise him the year after. But we can live in a fantasy world here, right? This is television. We can talk about what ifs, even if it's not likely to happen. So, with that in mind, we decided to do a special edition of Tannenbaums with our resident GM, Mike Tannenbaum. Mike T, give us 3 proposals that teams, should be picking up the phone right now and offering for Micah Parsons.
Well, Graz, as Hebo remembered, me and Chat Mike T, we went to we did 2 first-round picks and Ed Oliver to go from Buffalo to Dallas. And to me, this really makes sense from both sides, and here's why. If I'm Buffalo with Micah Parsons, we could go beat the Chiefs. We could go beat the Ravens and get to the Super Bowl. I hate losing Micah Parsons, but if I'm Dallas, now I get a defensive tackle. I can't stop the run for the last 3 years. And with 2 first-round picks, I can now rebuild.
Grade the trade.
If I'm Buffalo, I'm overjoyed. If I'm Dallas, I feel comfortable that we got something of value. I think Dallas, though, the thing about Micah Parsons is he's going to the Hall of Fame, guys. That's the type of player he is if nothing goes wrong. Trading a guy like that away, and Ed Oliver's very good, but he's not at that level. And you're hoping, beyond hope, that one of those draft picks turn out to be somewhere close to Micah Parsons.
Yeah, well, you forget though, we moved from reality into a
gotcha.
fantasy world, so we're now operating in a world where this is possible.
If I am Josh Allen, I'm calling to try to make this trade happen
There you go.
immediately.
That's exactly what we're looking for. How about another one? What do you got? What's your second?
All right, the Detroit Lions, who desperately need another pass rusher, they trade a first-round pick, 2 twos, and Brian Branch, a great young
My
safety.
goodness.
And if I'm the Detroit Lions with Micah Parsons and Aiden Hutchinson, we're going to the Super Bowl. Again, if I'm Dallas, I'm trying to rebuild. I'm getting a great young player in Brian Branch, 7 interceptions and a few draft choices. Not ideal if I'm Dallas, but it's a way to cut your losses.
What do you think, D. Wood? Who says no?
That's a lot. That's a lot. I know Detroit really loves Brian Branch. A first round and 2 twos. That's
Who says no?
That's a heavy price
I
right
say
there.
no.
That's a heavy price right there.
Detroit's trying to get Aiden Hutchinson signed at the same position. They're going to pay both those guys?
Sure.
Aiden and Micah.
Yeah. With that
Wow.
offense, let's go.
I like him. Like when the GM retires, like he's paying everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah, why not? What salary cap? All right, well, you got one more for us?
Yeah, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, guys. Here we go. We're going to give up a first-round pick, Bucky Irving, a great young running back, and Vita Vea. You want to stop the run? And let's give Micah Parsons to the 4-time NFC South champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Who says no to this? If I'm the Cowboys, I get a great running back, which I really need. I got maybe the best run stopper in the NFL and a first-round pick.
Neek?
Yeah, I mean, again, this is exciting. It's more exciting for the teams receiving Micah Parsons, which drives home the fact, Cowboys, you got to sign him. Because as good as these packages are that you're sending to the Cowboys, I'm still like, but Micah Parsons,
Right.
but he changes games almost every time he's on the field. He creates turnovers, sack fumbles. Like he causes the protection to have to slide his direction. Like that to me is as valuable as it gets in the NFL.
I think that's where we've landed, right? Let's come back now from our fantasy world and where the Cowboys insist they won't trade Micah Parsons, and we all sort of agree that they're right not to. Who knows how and when this situation will resolve itself, but you can be sure we'll continue to follow it here on Get Up. The Little League Baseball World Series rolls on in Williamsport today with 4 games. Starts with Canada versus Venezuela. Then Nevada takes on Washington. Aruba faces Panama. And finally, the boys from Fairfield, Connecticut take on Hawaii. All 4 games are on ESPN and ESPN+. Coming up, it is a critical weekend for Caleb. I'll tell you why Chicago might need him to bear down and start delivering right now in a preseason game that doesn't count.
It counts.
We'll talk about it.
But it
when we
matters.
come